And welcome to Co-op Guild. This is Steve, and I'm here to talk about Co-op Corner. This is the brief live chat where to cover cooperative news. So, unfortunately, it's been a little while for this segment, so I apologize to everyone for that. Life got busy. Life got busy, that happens. So, I want to say hi to a bunch of people here already. So, I've got, hey, Greg, how's it going? Nice to see you here. See Brian's here. Hey, Brian. Matt, nice to see you. Chris, welcome. Kim's here. Awesome. Hey, Judd, how's it going? And sweet, lots of friends here. Awesome. Okay. Like I said, this is a live show covering cooperative news. This is the month of December, and generally around the Christmas holidays, there's not a whole lot dropping, so don't have a whole lot to talk about, unfortunately. But we do have a couple things to talk about. So, okay. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Since I only have a little bit to talk about, lay them on me. We'll go over it. Now, quick notice for these two games that we talk about, I have gone through both rulebooks and did my research on this stuff. In that sense, I have not played either of these games, but I am actually personally backing both these games. So, let's start the show with the first one we'll talk about tonight. And this one is currently live on Kickstarter. Ooh, let me start at the top of the page. Let's not in the middle. And that is Tiny Epic Cthulhu. So like I said, this one I am backing. Now, does that mean you should back it? Not necessarily. So complete disclaimer, I collect the Tiny Epic games. I back every single one that comes out, regardless of what it is. I like having a collection of them. But this one is fully co-op and is Cthulhu. So there's a lot of that going for folks if they want that type of stuff. So this one is you are playing against the Great Old One, of course. So I believe there's 4 of them in the box. It is only a 30 or 45 minute game on the screen there, and I believe there are 4 bosses you go up against. And the premise of the game are you'll be playing as different investigators, of course, sticking with the theme, running around the town tiles. So what you see on the screen here. These areas are the town tiles, and your job is to find the pages of the Necronomicon. I hope I said that right. I hope I said that right. Right. Do you think the Tiny Epic Cthulhu will replace the spinner with a Pop-O-Matic of a Sandy? The Pop-O-Matic, that brings back memories. How about that? So and I have a Tiny Epic addiction. That's true. But yeah, so the goal of this one is to find all the pages in Necronomicon. I'm struggling with these words, trust me. And then once you find all those pages, the Great Old One you'll be able to face them. You don't really fight them. Instead, you have to seal the portals, the Great Old One. And along the whole, as you're doing this, you are trying not to go crazy. That's the goal. So this has a lot of elements going for it. It's very much a crisis management game. And so what you see around the board are there going to be spaces around the board to be placing tentacles. And these tentacles you actually want to collect, because when you collect them, they'll go on your player board, and the more of them you have, it will amplify your ability. So for example, the basic turn structure is you'll spin the spinner, and based on where the spinner is aiming, on one side of it will tell you what the Great Old One does and some of the effects that might happen. On the back side of it, it'll tell you where to spawn some enemies to fight or to deal with. And so both sides mean something, and then you'll take your actions, which is generally, I believe, 3 in the game. You can't get more actions potentially. And as you collect these tentacles, let's say like one action you do is move 1. If you have more of the blue tentacles, you will be able to move faster. So you kind of want to grab these things. And you need the tentacles because if you look at the books around here, for example, this one has 2 blues, a red and green, you need to turn those in to get the pages in the book. But the kicker is, like, if you have more of those blues, for one action you can move up to like 3 spaces, which is awesome. Now, if you grab an additional tentacle that you cannot fit on your board, you become a curse. And this is a theme through the whole game. There's tracks everywhere, and basically anytime you need to put something on a track and it's completely filled, something bad happens. In this case, your investigator goes a little mad. And so throughout the game, you kind of want to like get these powers to make yourself more powerful. Of course, you have unique abilities, but at the same time, you don't get too close to the bad zone where you go crazy and potentially lose the game. That's kind of what is going on. Like Ortiz has a question here. Since you collect them, which is your favorite and why? I want to get a tiny epic game or two, but don't know which is most fun, which is the best. That's a tough question to answer because I feel like they're all very different. They all have the same form factor. They're all the same size box. And one thing they all do is they pack small, but they unpack large. They actually take up a decent chunk of table space. In fact, on Friday this week, I'll be playing Tiny Epic Crime, so I'll show you how that one works. Now, to your question, which one's my favorite? There's some of the better ones I play. I'm not sure which one's my favorite off the top of my head, but Tiny Epic Dungeons is very good. That's a dungeon crawler in a small box. Tiny Epic Pirates I like a lot. That one is solo only, but I have house rule co-op. Tiny Epic Zombies is good. That one has a lot of variety in how that works. Tiny Epic Dinosaurs is tough, really tough. Has solo only, but I will make a way to play co-op. But that one is you're managing a dinosaur park. I like that one. They say Pirates. Pirates is another good one. So those are good for sure. Tiny Epic Tactics. That is an interesting one because it's got a whole 3D terrain thing, which is kind of cool. And so you're battling it out. That one has a very different co-op how it plays. There is one aspect of that I don't care for, and how you need to be completely off a spot to be able to delve in, go into the cave or go into the dungeon and grab stuff. So I've got a slight tweak to house rules for that one, but otherwise that game is pretty fun. Yes, Tiny Epic Dungeons and with expansions, which I will talk about. Actually, we can talk about it right now. Might as well, since you talk about it. So I've got, like I said, I've got all of them around the corner someplace. But here's an example of Tiny Epic Vikings. You can see the size of the box. So if you do back them, they've got some options. So the base game will come in a box like this. You can also get what they call the deluxe version, which will come in the same size box, but it comes with a tiny expansion of something, some other module. Are they necessary? Some of them I like. Some of them are like fine. None of them are like, oh my gosh, it's amazing for the little modules they add for the deluxe, but it's like $5 more for a little more game. And I feel like if you're back in the game at, I believe it's like $20, like $5 more, whatever. But if you get the expansion, what they're doing is they're creating the expansions in this size box. It's literally half the size, half the height of it. So it does add a little more space, but not a lot. Like you see, like this is all of the Vikings game. By the way, I don't recommend this one. So, yeah, Mike says Pirates is good. Galaxy is okay. Galaxy is good for combos. I like that one. Mechs is okay. Mechs is on the lower end for sure. But yeah, so this one is Cthulhu. Like I said, I haven't played it. I'm definitely backing. I will bring a playthrough to you guys. But looking through it, I really like the spinner, and a lot of people have ideas on the spinner. I think the spinner is used in a smart way here because it takes care of multiple things very easily from a quick user experience perspective. So I'm okay with that. As long as the spinner functions fine, and I'm sure they're going to figure that out, I have no issues with that. There are also dice in here where the dice are just a 0, 1, 2, so the custom dice to tell you how many, because when you fight the, what they call the scrambles, the enemies in the game, you automatically destroy them, but depending on how high you roll, depends on how many tentacles you get in return. So, now, like I said, it's only 25, it's 25 bucks, sorry, I said 20, 25 bucks, $5 more for the deluxe, and the deluxe is going to add, where's it say down here? Oh yeah, all these wooden tokens and everything. They actually do a pretty good job of quality generally for these games. The deluxe will give you these astral artifacts, which honestly, I don't know what they do. No idea. But for $5 more, I'm a sucker, I tend to always do that. And then the Cult of Chaos is the expansion. So this is going to give you more characters to play as, more heroes, more great old ones, and more locations. It also gives you this additional Cultist of the Shrine, and he'll be running around the board trying to, as far as I can tell, acts kind of like a player, an enemy player. This is all completely co-op, and they would be trying to take the Necronomicon pages as well. Like I said, I don't have the rules for the deluxe or the expansion, so I can't talk much about that, but they're there. So yeah, Tiny Epic Cthulhu, pretty easy entry. I like them because they're small box, easy to travel with, so I tend to always get this stuff. But that one is currently on Kickstarter now. All right, let's change gears and talk about another game that's currently on Kickstarter but almost done. And like I said, this one I'm also backing. And this one is Firefighters On Duty. So this is 1 to 4 player game, 30 to 45 minutes. This is a real-time game. Real-time game meaning you'll be chucking dice as fast as you can. If you have played Project Elite, this is by the same group as far as I understand it, the same publishers, and it's got probably have a somewhat similar feel as that one, the chaos of it. But of course, this one, you're firefighters. And so you'll be taking your, let's see, let me scroll down here so you can see more of what's going on. Let's see, so it's all scenario based. You're gonna have 6 rounds to complete the scenario, otherwise you lose basically. And in this, you will be managing a fire truck. So a fire truck has spaces to place your firefighters in, or civilians if you rescue them potentially. Actually, I don't know if civilians go in the fire truck. They might have to go in a different vehicle. But the main thing is you also have dice. And so the dice are going to be your water. And so you'll be driving around the board, and then you will be jumping out with your hose, for example, and rolling dice to try to take out the fire around the city. You'll also be using your axe to take down barricades. You'll be taking injured people, bringing them to the road. Then there's also generic vehicles, which you can control. Let's see if you can find a generic vehicle around here someplace. Oh yeah, here we go. You can see it down here. People carrier miniature. So you can drive that there to pick them up and bring them to the hospital, for example. This is all with dice. So you'll be rolling dice, and dice have different symbols, and you'll be spending those symbols to do different actions, like moving your vehicle, moving people around, gathering water, for example, all that fun stuff. Kim's got a question. So how is this compared to the firefighting game we played the other night? She's talking about Flashpoint Fire Rescue, which is, at this point, an older game, so I don't think you can get that one anymore. So the Flashpoint, it has a grid where you'll be dropping down smoke and fire, and then from that spot it will expand out and damage buildings. It has this very cool flashover effect where the fires will cause additional fires will cause explosions, and fires touching smoke will turn into other fires, so it can compound itself quite a bit. This one is very different in the sense that this is a city, so you're running around the city trying to rescue and people in that sense, or whatever the scenario requires. And you can actually build your own scenarios in this one very easily. And so it is going to feel different in the sense that this is real time, which is the other ones are definitely not. I don't think this one's going to have that ability to spiral out of control like the other one does, Flashpoint, because it's a burning building. As the fire goes on longer, it becomes harder to take care of, and it can get kind of crazy. Not sure about this one. Like I said, I haven't played it, but I do like what I see with this one. It looks really, really fun. So, but yeah. So this one is also one that sent to Colin. Colin loves Project Elite, so he's also back in this one. I like what I see here, but like I said, haven't played it. But the fact that you can do custom scenarios, I enjoy dabbling with that. And real-time games, they tend to be really fun. I think this is something my son will like a lot, and we'll have fun with this one. Okay, like I said, so this one's got a lot of equipment, it's got lots of other stuff too as well you can get. One of the expansions you can get is this fuel and electrical fires. So instead of having just normal fires to put out, you can have fires that require certain fire extinguishers to take them out, the fuel or electric ones. And it also has more scenario tiles and tow trucks and stuff. For example, if you have broken cars, you can pull them off the board. It does have drones too, which is kind of cool. very interested to see if that works solo. Project Elite does not. I have not played Project Elite other than with Colin, multiple people, which has been fun. This one, it has rules for solo, and I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. My understanding, though, looking through the scenario book, is each scenario is designed for a very specific player count. So you have 1-player scenarios, 2, 3, and 4-player scenarios. And so I think that's how it's going to scale down, by being a smaller area to manage. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work in reality. I don't have concerns at this point that it's going to be an issue. I just don't know what that's going to be like. I do have a problem, Matt. I've got many problems. Put that way. One of them, though, I think was fixed tonight. I was just testing out the clip thing, so I think the clips are working. So you guys can take clips of our videos at any time. Now I'm asking in trouble with that one, so I think the bot's finally working. Okay, cool. I think that's all I have for tonight. It's just those two games. Looking ahead, I don't see a whole lot coming for the rest of December. This may be the only co-op corner for this month, which is okay. I have other content planned, but like I said, if you guys have any games coming up you want to talk about or anything or hear more about, let me know. I'll do my best to try to see if I can't cover them in some fashion. But that's all for tonight. Now, 9 problems games isn't one. Got a lot of streaming problems, that's for sure. So other stuff coming up for this channel. Friday, like I said, we're going to be playing Tiny Epic Crimes, so come swing by for that one. That one should be kind of fun because for that game, you guys will be able to help solve the crime with us, which could be fun. That's Friday night. Saturday morning, we're doing a co-op chat, so back to that one. We had a little bit of a small break with a holiday in there, and then we had a celebration over at Kanji Studios, but we're back here on Saturday morning to talk about that. Also, tomorrow night, I will be over on Kanji Studios channel with Derek to teach and play Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor, which we played recently on this channel. So if you want to see it over there and see what a 3-player game looks like, come join us there. It was that butler. Primary solved it. We're good. Done. So, yes, Christmas Corner. So that's not a bad title, Kim. Christmas Corner. So a little sneak peek. I am prepping, because I like to do this every year, a recap of 2023. So I like to do like best game of the year, biggest surprise, hidden gem, all that fun stuff. So I'm planning to do that as well. So we'll have that one closer to the end of the month, but that's coming up. Hey, Matt. Oh, clip to start the video, but it'll not last 30 seconds. Okay. I will look into that. At least something's working. So, okay. So yes, so that's coming up soon, and my plan is actually send out a survey for everyone else to also contribute to that, so you can share what your co-op stuff is. So, but that's basically it for tonight. Like I said, join us tomorrow night, Derek's channel for Uprising. Friday night here for Tiny Epic Crimes. Saturday morning for co-op chat, and that will wrap up the content for this week. And then next week we'll be back at it with Monday with more games to play. Probably will be Flashpoint Fire Rescue, because I mentioned that earlier. Probably just dive into show you what that fire game looks like. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time at the Guild. Bye bye.